What if the shake your oncologist recommended, the one the nurse handed your loved one in that hospital bed, the little bottle with the medical authority baked right into the name, has never once been independently tested for heavy metals? I couldn't find any publicly available independent heavy metal testing for these products at all. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sippable Solution Support Show. I'm Dannie Cade, cancer cachexia survivor of over 10 years, and today we're going somewhere that's going to make some very powerful people very uncomfortable. If you've been following me lately, you already know what the Clean Label Project and Consumer Reports found, that 77% of plant-based protein powders are exceeding California's strictest safety limits for lead, with organic showing 3 times more lead than conventional. Now, if you love chocolate, you'll want to know that it's showing as having up to 110 times more cadmium than vanilla does. The health food store shelf, it's a minefield. We've established that, but nobody's talking about what's sitting on the hospital shelf. The products being handed directly to cancer patients by oncologists, nurses across the country, the little bottles with names that sound like medical solutions, they were completely exempt from both of those studies. Not because they passed, but because they're classified as medical foods instead of supplements. That's what places them outside the scope of many publicly visible independent testing programs. Here's what that classification actually means for your person. Pardon me. First off, I wasn't able to locate any publicly available heavy metal data for these products either. But if you can find any public records, I'd love to see them, because these companies don't appear to be voluntarily publishing their heavy metal testing results for the same products that are being consumed 2 or 3 times a day for months, sometimes years, by people fighting cancer, battling cachexia, bodies with absolutely nothing left to fight with, and not one independent organization has been able to publicly verify what's actually in them. Pardon me. I have a bad tickle. It makes me question why independent results don't seem to be available to the general public at all. Why transparency seems harder to access for the sickest patients in the system. Or why caregivers are expected to trust products that they can't independently verify. Think about that for a moment. Many supplements at the health food store get independently tested, as well as many commercial protein powders, including the shake your gym buddy uses. But the shake handed to cancer patients in hospitals appears to exist in a category that manages to avoid that same level of public scrutiny. Whether that's intentional or not, that distinction leaves families with a lot of unanswered questions. And while the heavy metals questions remains unanswered, here's what we do know is in them: corn syrup, sugars, seed oils, synthetic ingredients, additives of all sorts that can be hard on severely compromised digestive systems, ingredients that some caregivers and patients worry will be too difficult to tolerate. A lot of caregivers are unknowingly being forced to make impossible decisions with incomplete information. If this is landing for you, hit like, share, follow, or any of those good buttons. It helps me to get more content out for you. When I was wasting away, I refused every single one of the top recommended brands from day one. I looked at that ingredient list while I was losing 1.5 pounds every single day, and I said, no, I just couldn't bring myself to drink that. When I couldn't get anything down my natural path and I went looking for something that my poor hamburger gut could actually survive. And what we found ended up being third-party tested, heavy metal verified, compliant with some of the strictest safety standards in the world. But you know what? I had no idea at the time, and I didn't care. All I knew is that my body could get it down and keep it down, and it worked using the strategy I was told to use. If it wasn't for that single decision made in sheer desperation, believe me, I wouldn't be here 10 years later sharing this with you. Caregivers are being asked to make life changing decisions without the transparency that they deserve, and now you know exactly where to look. Everything I know, the details of the protocol that worked for me, questions you need answers to before anything goes into your person's body, it's all in my free guide. Drop fuel in the comments right now and I'll get it to you. I built this so that you don't have to figure it out the long, slow, hard, painful way like I did. And if you do have a question, please ask. I would love it. Remember to follow me at Sippable Solutions so I see you, and watch for my reply to your comments. Thanks, everyone. Make it a great day. Bye for now.